Afternoon, everyone. Carrot again. We're doing another episode of WildStar Housing Tours. This week, again, we're going to be visiting some exile homes on the Jabbit-EU realm. I've picked out about four. A couple of them, they're not as full-blown kind of full plot extravaganza kind of thing, but they've got some really nice details that I'd like to show. And we're on one of them right now. This is the home of Tuft Meadowgrass. He's a guildmate of mine. Um, I try to treat everybody equally when it comes to guildmates or non-guildmates. Um, so it just happens to be that he's a guildmate as well, and I happen to be showcasing one of his homes today. He's actually got several. Um, But this one has a few things that I think are extra special. As you can see, he's favoring the Oran type of theme for his home. It's got a lot of plant life. One thing I like about it is generally when I come across an Oran-esque type of plot, it feels kind of claustrophobic because they want to cover up every bit of sky. They don't want any kind of open sky showing. They usually just leave a lot of the upper areas visible. And there's lots of mossy trees and just the type of decor that just kind of really fluffs everything out and it makes it jungly. And that's a nice type of way to approach it. But one of my favorite things about this plot is while it's full of vibrancy of the plants and the flowers and everything, it doesn't feel confined. It still feels airy, and of course it's not a dark plot. A lot of people, for whatever reason, opt for darker lighting in their homes, and I think it's so that they can showcase some of the lighting effects that you can get when you have a darker lit home. But this one is nice and light and airy and just pretty to look at. Now we're not going to be going too much into detail as far as what kind of plants I couldn't possibly name all of the plants, but he has taken pretty good liberties of like what types. He's used a large variety. It's not like he's only used a few types, which some fall into as well. Sometimes that can make your plot look pretty unified, like if you stick with just mushroom types of plants or whatever. But he's managed to find ways to include not only the green types of trees, but also the pines, and you don't see those mixed up all that often. I mean, it happens, but it's not widespread, I think. Now here he's fashioned a very lovely gazebo. I've seen many versions of these type of things. Most often people tend to go with the bowls or nowadays the domes as part of the structure, the main build of it. He's taken a little step further. These appear to be the bars that you can get from the housing vendor, and he's just applied them to the bowl, and then he's got a Draken, it looks like a Draken cauldron on top to give it just an extra little flair with the little toppers that are orange in flavor. He's also taken pains to make it so that it's technically accessible all the way around, but he's kind of indicated this is where he wants you to go in, and it leads to the nice little hot springs there. It's simple, but it looks very detailed and very pretty. Fits the theme very nicely. Just something, a lot of my guildmates and other people that I've come across wonder sometimes just what it is that I look for in a home when I either choose to showcase it here or list it or both or whatever. And a lot of them think or have the misconception that I'm looking for strictly over-the-top homes. And while we do have a good many of those, a lot of times it's just little details like this extra effort that was put in. You know, here his entire yard is, for some, pretty mundane. It's not there's not a lot of like little hidden things up in the trees that I'm aware of, at least. Um, there's not just, I mean, every empty space he has is not packed with something. And while there are homes that have that and that works for them, for him, he's taken to showcasing them a little more sparsely. But I think that just helps make it even that much more special, at least for his plot. And I really like the touches that he's added into it. I mean, he's, you know, made the columns. You know, it's not just a single pillar, but he's actually taken the time to put several pillars together and make the columns, and just really given a lot of detail to this to make it look really nice. So for someone else that's looking for various versions or ways that you can build a gazebo, excuse me, this is definitely a very great example of how you could put one together and have it look really nice, really classy. Again, he's added touches here and there. Here's a little hugel type of collection with a little offering plate. You know, while it's somewhat simple, you won't see this exact setup on someone else's place because he's taken the time to, you know, add an extra element of this being here and having the one on top. So that just makes it his own. And those are the things that I like finding in people's houses. So it's not that, you know, you have to have a full town build or, you know, an all-out bar scene or whatever. It's just little touches like that. I have a lot of homes on my list that fit that criteria, where they have, you know, several, but it may not be all overall the entire plot. Now here we come to one little area that he does have up in the trees. I happened across this. I don't think I need that. I need to run a little bit. I came across this yesterday when I was double checking his plot just to make sure that it was still public and that he hadn't changed it up too much. Because one of the things about maintaining the list of homes that I think deserve a closer look by a lot of people, some of the folks do change their themes from time to time. So before I go looking for a, you know, I try to not showcase only bars on the same show. I try to give a mixture of, one will be R&esque and one will have a bar maybe, and the other one might be a town. But I try not to do like all like, having a real hard time getting up this way. I'm taking my time and being very careful because I'm awful about jumping type puzzles, and this is equivalent to a jumping puzzle for me because while it's fairly simple looking, for me it's like super scary because I know I'm gonna end up falling and making a fool of myself, but I'm gonna try and make it without falling. That's a nice shot of the gazebo down there. I just know this like last little bit I'm gonna fall and it's gonna be bad. So here we have a simple little rest relaxation area. It's got a nice view of the area down below. Very casual, nothing super elaborate, but you know, the touches are there. You got the little chests and drinks and everything. Just a nice little Easter egg for the home to have a little place up in the tree. And a lot of homes have that, and I've come across so many that, you know, they have them all over the place. And that can add a lot of extra, you know, extraness to your plot, if that's what you want to go with. And here, you know, just extra little features. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even bother putting the rock there next to the tree, but it just kind of adds a little bit of uniqueness to his plot and how he's arranged things. Nice plugs. This one always looks pretty disgusting to me because all the meats and stuff hanging out. But okay, and then we're going to go into his home here. Again, he's kept it pretty simple. I mean, he's got this little fake door to what you would assume is a bar. Of course, if you open it, it's just a wall. But it's, you know, a clever use of implying that there's more to the structure than meets the eye. But I'm sure if there was a way that we could toggle this to be non-active or not, he would probably choose to not have it active so that people aren't disappointed when they open the door and don't find anything. Oops. See here, this is like a jumping puzzle for me because I get stuck or whatever. But this is an interesting use of these little windows here. You don't see them used too often. And he's gone and made like a set of stairs with them, which I think is a nice, unique use of them. And again, it's simple up here. You know, it's just a basic desk and some pillows and stuff. But I like, one, the use of the windows for the stairs, but also the thorny log that he's used as part of the roof up here. You know, it just keeps the nature, the aura feel to the home without using, you know, different kinds of materials. It keeps it really natural looking. You know, adding in the bulby green growths here. Again, it's pretty simple, but then you have this lovely fireplace that he's put together. And look at the detail as like adding in the hugels for the trim, which is a really nice touch. It makes it like an Oran fireplace. You would think that that would be a piece that comes as is. It's this nice big chunk for where, you know, you assume that the smoke and stuff goes out, and it's just really nice. And it looks to be the Galera stone walls for the top and bottom, and looks like granite walls for the sides, and then I assume probably a hugel to make this shape here. But I just think it's those little touches that, you know, some people feel like when they get into housing that they have to go all out with everything, and you don't. You start off small. He's got this little project here, the little bit of touches that he's put up in the main room, and then he's got, you know, the little lookout resting area up in the trees, and then he's got the gazebo. He started small, but as he gets into it, he may be inclined to add more and more to it. You don't have to have a full-fledged plot of just wildness. It's those little bits that keep your home special and unique to you and makes it worthwhile for someone to come and visit. Okay, so that's Tuft's home. Now we're going to visit another guildmate, as it were. I just came across her home this morning. I didn't even, well, maybe it's not going to let me go to her place. You get this error sometimes and it just doesn't want to let you go. Well, I'm going to have to try and get hers next time. But I came across hers. Oh, hey Samson, glad you could join us. I'll take a few minutes if you got those to spare. Anyway, the player does not exist. I know she does because I just visited her place this morning, and I'm not a neighbor of hers, so I'm, you know, again, I only go for homes that are public, because I want those that can to be able to go visit these homes too. And if I only visit homes that are neighbor only or private, while it is kind of nifty to see them, it's kind of like a teaser, because then, you know, those that would normally have access to them can't because they're not their neighbor. And of course, I don't want people to get spammed with neighbor invites either that, may be unwanted. So, as I said, the player does not exist error. That does happen from time to time. Often it'll be even someone that I happen to be talking to in chat, and it just won't let me go to their home. It doesn't matter about the spelling or anything. You get it right, and it still just gives you the error. From my experience, it's a temporary error, lasting maybe a day or so. So we'll try again later, but I suspect I probably won't be able to visit her home today, which is disappointing, but it's part of the public housing fun. So our next on today's tour is going to be the Witch Doctor Hut plot of Vilren Morristrider. Now, I believe this is also a guildmate, but this is an alt of his and one that he built prior to joining our guild. So it's been around for a while, and so it's probably something that people have either heard about, seen on their own, or have seen. I think he's showcased a few screenshots on his Tumblr account, I think. But I asked him today if there was actually a video out, because I really tried to tend to not do a video of those that already have videos out there, because just kind of a repeat. I want to showcase homes that really haven't been seen in this way yet. So he informed me that no, he had not had a video. He didn't know of anyone that had made one. So today we're going to tour his place. Now his is a pretty unique theme. That's one of the reasons why it caught my eye, but also because of a lot of the touches he's added to it that he's crafted himself. You can see here he's tried to give it a kind of a swampy, well, he didn't have like a water feature that he could use, but it's just to kind of, that's why he's added in all of this high grass. So if I happen to fall off of these planks, then I'll probably disappear because it's pretty high. But it's supposed to be out in the middle of the swamps, and he's got it, creepily lit, using the dark lighting to his advantage by using the lanterns to light the way down the plank path. But we're going to detour off here a little bit and go up to this little area that he's built. It's actually, built into the tree. See if I can make it up there without falling. I hope this is coming in well enough, because these dark plots, often it's difficult to see the detail that's in them because of the lighting. But essentially this is like a gathering, sleeping area. Got all these lush carpets, like fur rugs type stuff. Into several sections, and then he's got this little elevated bed up here, which is an interesting little addition. Maybe later he will add some extra details. I don't know how long he's been working on the plot. I just know it's been around for a while. So very interesting little way of presenting a little hideout. Looks to be like the roofing is like from the picnic table. That's what it reminds me of, the brackets here. So, that's one way to do a quick one-piece roof that you don't really have to do too much work on, and still have a nice effect. Let's see if I can get back down to the plank path without falling into the grass. I went here again this morning looking around, and because I tried to make sure I find every little nook and cranny, oops, so that you can see everything, and it looks to be a thinker, ruby-eyed thinker, I think is what the name of it is. It's a pretty creepy thing. Okay, again, we're going to veer off the main path and just take this little side route. But, when I get my viewers' attention, I try to show them everything I can. See if I can maneuver my way up here. Now, here we have a little smoking area. You know, a little clutch of pillows and a bit of a campfire, and you got some drinks and stuff. And then they've gone one step further and added an extra layer up at the top so that you can bring more than a few friends. Just some nice, nifty little ideas. You don't have to always use the, you know, like the decking as your platforms. It looks like they've just basically just used the fur rugs and overlapped a few to get a nice solid look, and then topped it off with some pillows. And that's, you know, that's one way to go about it, and gives other people you know, new ideas about how they might approach something like that. Again, I'm going to try and not fall off in here. It's a really unique way of doing the path, having it elevated and just kind of rickety. I mean, you get the feeling that this is kind of like almost an abandoned place. Everything's overgrown and creepy looking, which, you know, clearly is the idea. Now, the straight path here leads to his house, but we're going to hold off on that. We're just going to try and explore more of the exterior first. So we're going to take the side path. And then the side path has a side path, so we're going to go that way. And I would be doing more like shots around, but there's just so much growth, it's kind of hard to see anything. It's really difficult. I can kind of make out, if you can really get in there, you can see that he's built little rock steps to help guide you into the structure here. And he's basically put in a cave. Some nice mossy mushroom effects. And then you can see through this little gap that it actually leads down to a hot springs. The fab kit was there, and he just built this all around it to give it a unique way of getting to it, which is nice. You know, while I don't use fab kits myself for various reasons, I love how people can find different ways of showcasing them without them having to look all the same. And here he's gone and added a lot of nifty little details. He's got a little bar here. He's got a little changing room, it looks to be. Like a bench and things that you can sit down and change your clothes. So like if you want to go dipping in the hot springs. Same way here, so I guess it's a men's and women's changing rooms. And then he has these lovely little lounger chairs he's built, and it looks to be like one of these wooden dividers with a couple of pillars and some extra pillars set in for the legs, and just mirrored that here. And just a really nice little extra thing. I mean, we could very well have lounger furniture added later to go like with the decking that they gave us a couple of drops ago. But here he's, you know, taken the initiative to build his own. And it looks really nice and suits the scene really well. There's just a granite bench that he's included, and it just kind of blends in with everything else, and that's what you want. You want whatever you build to kind of work well with what you have going on around. And of course, he's added, you know, little pillow seats, the other touches that just kind of goes really nice. Little setup here. Got the nice roots coming in from below, from above. So let's see if I can find my way out. It's really difficult to see. I like how when people have these kind of paths, they make sure to kind of guide you with decor in different ways to kind of say, this is where you need to go, or there's something over here you need to look at. And that's very helpful for someone like me that can get easily lost. Okay, so we're back outdoors. Just kind of going over here to take a look. It's really kind of hard to see. You can see there's like some kind of, I don't know, altar or something over there. I hesitate to go just off into the grass because I'll have a fun time trying to get back onto the planks. So we will see if this other side path will take us there. And all these are 2x4s, and I think these are the metal-edged rectangular pieces of wood. Very handy, and he's got all sorts of things going on here. There's obsidian blocks, and that looks to be like some kind of Osun piece. And then we've got the knotty green briar going on, just to really accentuate the overgrowth of whatever's going on here. Mossy bits covering the statues, and just helps to pull off that abandonment kind of thing. Well, I think in order to see this, I'm going to have to dive off into the grass. So can't even see me. I'm so buried in this, but basically like I don't know, an old altar or something that's just been, you know, you can see remnants of artifacts and such lying around. Hard to get a good shot. And then some kind of a passage or something. And just more little bits here and there. So hard to see swimming in the grass. Okay, I'm going to try and make it back to the front. And then we'll go inside. This is one way to get, like, you know, if you've forgotten to mow your lawn, then this is what happens. You need some WildStars to kind of munch on the grass to keep it at bay. I'd be trying to jump on the planks earlier, but still kind of high. Oh, for crying out loud. Guess I'll have to mount out and see if I can get my snarfy up there. I'm so bad at this. There we go. Here's some more. Well, man, I'm gonna have to go off in there because I see this now. I want to see what this is. This looks like some, you know, an old wishing well. I think that's part of a fab kit, and then he's just added things around it to kind of make it look abandoned and overgrown. Okay, where am I? I think I see the entrance there. I'm getting close. Sort of, maybe, hopefully. It's so hard to see. Okay, I think that's the, yeah, that's the, okay. See if I can get up here. Whew, made it back onto the plank. Hey. Okay, so let's just kind of meander our way back and we'll head into the house. The Witch Doctor Hut. I think the name says it all about what you might want to, you know, could expect in the home, but he really does a really fantastic job on pulling it off. Here we are in the Witch Doctor Hut. And straight away, you have like this little throne kind of thing. I guess that's where he would sit, meet those that have come for his advice or for his aid or whatever. Just a creepy little thing going on. Lots of skulls and bones, and here we have like a little massage bench. Maybe this is where he does his acupuncture or working with oils and stuff. Yeah, they're having account maintenance going on, which is supposed to happen in about half an hour. So hopefully that doesn't disrupt this. According to the message, I should still be able to stay logged in as long as I don't, unfortunately, disconnect or something. I should be fine. If by chance it goes offline, then that'll just be so sad, but you know, that's life. Here's a nice little shower and toilet area. And I like this because he's taken the time to make like a little cushioned seat kind of thing for the bucket, using that as his toilet. But you know, a lot of people don't bother with that. And here he's got a little reading book for those that's got to take a little longer. And for his towels, he's used the sleeping bags, which is, you know, nice. I've used those and the Exile mattresses, I think it's called. And then, of course, here's the little shower stall. And then a window, the back of a window for the mirror effect. Just, you know, it's just little details like that that you want to take away with you and apply them in your own way to your own home and make them, you know, just that much more nifty. Now here he's used the fur rugs again, but this in this instance he's used it as the base of the stairway and then used the thorny logs as the steps. It's a very unique type of use for those decors as the stairs. Here's a creepy little ensemble here. Like I said, he's done really nice with the lighting, getting the green glow, and here having the skeleton and just lots of skulls and things. Just nifty. And then added in, you know, growy green stuff. And I believe this is meant to be his lab, his little witch doctor's lab. So he's got all kinds of bottles and, you know, little animals that he uses and mushrooms and herbs and fruits and all sorts of manner of things. And then here's the little cooking pots that cooks away, and I guess that's his cookbook or spell book or something. Just lots of really nice little details that he's incorporated to make up his little witch doctor's lab. Now I'm sure there's more that he would probably plan to add, just to, you know, fill in some of the blank areas, but he's just not gotten a chance to get through to it. Here he's got his another place where I think this is like where he does his voodoo dolls or so. So you've got like the little stuffed dolls, and then he's got his like see you, Samson. I hope you have a good night. Got his little stabby stabs when you poke your voodoo doll. And he's got his like little offering bowls and candles and such. Just some little touches. I mean, there's probably other things you could think of that might fit a witch doctor theme. And then you can, you know, and here he's taken the hay pile and used it as a roof, which is a nice way of doing it, keeping that hut kind of feel going on. So that's the Witch Doctor Hut by Vilren Mossrider. Like I said, it's a unique theme, and that's one of the reasons why it caught my eye. So finally, and hopefully it works, we're going to Daydream's home. Now this one I found a while back, and they've changed or added a lot more to it since the last time I was here. So a lot of this I haven't seen myself. I noticed that there were some new areas and I just kind of thought, well, I'll just keep it for the stream. You know, I'll see it together with you. So straight away, most people will notice they really gone through great lengths to disguise the area where you zone in. Many people freak out and go, how in the world did they do that? And basically, their plot ground is the sand. I don't remember what name of it is for that option, but it's, you know, and then what we're standing on is the massive umbrella tree that's been turned upside down because, as I mentioned in previous streams, that particular decor, it mirrors whatever is down on the ground. So if they had chosen like a green grassy type of ground, then you would see the grass up here as well. And for bypassing being able to place things directly onto the transport area, I think the trick is to size it down, scooch it under just below the little, because you know when you have an area that you're not allowed to build on, they have like a barrier. And for the transport, I believe the barrier has a top, a bottom, and all the sides. And if you can put in an item just below the bottom part of the barrier and then size it up, it kind of fakes it out and allows you to place things there that you typically wouldn't be able to. Now, things that don't have collision, like grasses, and I think some of the trees, depending on what it is, but grasses for sure, because I've done that myself, you can place directly on to the platform with no trouble. So that's, you know, just some little tricks that people can use to kind of modify how this looks, because most people get very frustrated at they'll have this whole like cityscape and then they have this ugly little square that doesn't match it. And now they can, you know, see through these streams that people have found ways to get around that and make it their own. So right straight away, there's that. And then if you look up, you can see that it looks to be some sort of like a castle type thing. Now, the title of their plot is called Forged from Chaos, which is a unique and interesting title. It's part of the reason why I went ahead and decided to come visit this place in the first time I came across it. But it doesn't really specify, you know, what's forged from chaos. Is it the castle? Is it, you know, the player themselves? Is it the structure down below? But from the looks of it, this appears to be a nice little castle. So already you know there's some nifty things that you want to find, but it's, you know, your job to figure out how to get there. But even before we get to that, here we have a nice little bridge and a watery area. They found a very clever way of simulating water. It appears to be an orange floor because you can see kind of like the stone bits of the thing that have been sized up to give it the blue look. And I'm not quite sure what other pieces, because I see the honeycomb kind of effect, and that could be from, you can see also these, it's probably one of the monitor type decors that has been enlarged pretty good. But, you know, for little effects like this, just to get the overall look of the water, you know, you can overlook these little doodads that keep popping up. It's really some kind of a monitor that has that text stuff. And of course, that's where the graveyard's located, but they've thrown in, you know, little rocks and little pond creatures and stuff like that. So it just kind of helps sell that this is a little watery area, which is really nice. And then, of course, in this rocky part, they've made sure to include different types of growth to kind of, you know, just follow along. So looks to be the purple rock arch pieces that they've used in a lot of this cave area, which is pretty expansive. I'm going to go and find most of the places if I can. This is just some lighting effects for this one. Here we have You know, what they've done is they have a lot of different plugs already on their property, and they've built around it, just to kind of incorporate it into their cave system. And this is where the personal bank is, and then they've included the mailbox. So you know you have your personal touches, but it's still nice and cavey and creepy. Now I neglected to go this way because that actually leads to the interior of the hatch house. Um, so we're going to do all the exploration of the outside first. I like these little bits. They've taken, I think it's the one of the fences that has that metal working on it, and they've just enlarged it really huge and made it look like a little like a prison. And I think that's their mannequin dummy kind of thing. They've got their gear on, which I don't know what gear set that is. Looks pretty cool, but and creepy, but so they have a prisoner here, and just little notes here and there. I mean, they pretty much don't have any, you know, too many little nooks and crannies that you would get lost in, like some of the cave systems I've come across. But it's like here again, we've got another little prisoner. It's a free bot, and again, here's another fab kit that they've built around. Now this one I had trouble getting in last time because I couldn't go under the rope there. They might want to consider lowering the floor just by a smidge so that people don't have so much trouble getting in. Can't even get in on the bottom there. Just doesn't allow me to. So that's one minor little thing. But you know how you have the amenities of being able to do some of your crafting, and they got another mailbox there, and you can see it's still all nicely boxed in inside the cave, so you know you don't have any issues with if you don't want people seeing those fake plots in the distance. You know, then you have this option to just kind of cover it all up and build around whatever you want. Some don't like using the plugs like this. Some would prefer to just create their own scenes, and that's, you know, their option. This one's just taken the opportunity to blend those in like they want. And again, here's another plug that they've included, another crafting station. It's a really nice little way of doing it. I mean, you know it's a plug, or most people do, but it's just a different way of presenting it. You do have the if you want to put it in like this and how they've added the flooring, you do have the issue of where you've cut off like part of the bottom of the structures. But you know, if you don't mind that, then it works fine. It's a nice way of approaching it. And again, they've used these fire lamp post thingies, probably some kind of a gate, I would imagine, as ways of indicating, you know, this is the path that you take. And here again, I think this is also a plug, but it might just be an empty area that they put in the test dummies. I really don't know if they've covered anything else up. But, you know, this is where you could come practice your skills and see how all tough and bad you are. Okay, so I think we've come all the way around and we've seen all of the bits out here down below. Now we already know that there's more to it because of what we saw from the gate. So we will just enter the inner area. And you can see here, this is where you access the hatch house. They've got it nicely built in with rocks, those new stones that you get from the Starcom area. But we're going to go upstairs. Now, the last time I was here, I come upstairs and they hadn't built anything yet. It was still vacant. But I came today and they've managed to really deck it out nicely. So consider what all they have down below. While below is fairly simple, it's just a lot of rock for the most part and a few fab kits. There's a reason for that. They've taken to using their decor count in a very special way up here. And you will see that as soon as I make my way. So first, let's just go upstairs, go all the way to the top. This is a very nice use of these new hoverboard park pieces. There's like 90 something pieces that you can use, and they've gone above and beyond on incorporating them into their build. I'm going to go ahead and put her in run so we don't spend all day running up the stairs. Just another warning from Carbine that they're getting ready to do some account maintenance, which shouldn't affect. So there you go. They've got this nicely built little inner area here, and you get a great shot of what is going on up above. Now, if you can, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this area down below, that's where we came in, and this is the two towers that we saw from below. And you can see what a great job they've done at capping them off, for one. It looks to be Orin windows that they just stacked and resized until they got their little cone effect, which is really nice. I didn't think of that myself. Probably would have been really handy if I had thought about that and used it in my my tower build that no longer exists. But they've really added in a lot of stuff up here. Awesome to look at. Nice use of trees, giving color and. But I really love how they've used the hoverboard park stuff. This one's capped with the dome. Give a little difference. You know, this is primarily the front, and then you got the capped ones in the back. Okay, so we're going to try and quickly run back down. Probably could just jump off, but I'd rather approach it from the point of when we were intended to come in. So again, here's more of the hover park pieces, and this is one of those. Looks like a tiki bar, just to to accentuate the doorway there. And then nice use of the tri-horn. I think it's what those are. Some kind of lighting, just to kind of mark that this is the entrance, the main part. So now, where do we start? I'm going to start at the front, because this is what we saw from the entrance, and I'll show you that from here. That's the teleport pad and the sandy area that come in. You can see the pools down below. So this is the portcullis, I think is what it's called. Nice use of the Draken pointy spears for that, and then they repeated the motif with the tiki bars to kind of, that's one thing you want to do if you have some kind of an item that you use as a decoration. You want to apply that in other places to kind of give it a theme feel. You don't want to do this doorway one way and then the other one another way. Too much, you want to match it here and there. I mean, they didn't duplicate it for these doors here, but in other places they did, and that's what matters is, they made these match and then those match elsewhere. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and visit these two towers. Those are the ones we saw from the very beginning. And again, really nice use of the decor to make the stairs. I think these are those orange shelves. Could be mistaken, but I think that's what those are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the shelf here. You can see the flourish on the bottom, and then they've just duplicated that wood look down here for the stairway. Really nice, sleek use of the decor. And those are details, that you want to take home with you and say, hey, I could apply that myself with something else maybe, but in the same manner. So here we have a nice little aquarium type thing. Nothing super fancy, just a plant and a fish in a water type structure. Very nice. And then here again is the view of the entrance. Very large flower. And then we go up the tower, and it nicely has a path leading to the other one. We will go to here shortly. Inside the tower, you have a restroom, a nice little bathroom area, and again, love the use of the hover park decor as more than just the main structure. It's countertops. Here we have some of the cylinders and stuff being used in domes, so that it gives a really nice sleek effect to the shower stall. I'm trying to see what the shower head is. Looks to be like one of those horn, Draken horns or something, falcon horn, one of those. But really nice. Got little touches of the clothes hanging and the things like that. And then here's some of the new fence posts, the Oran type, giving just a little extra class to the room. Just little simple details. It's not like you have to fill in every little place with something. This looks really nice, really classy. Okay, so since we're up above and there's a path, we'll just go to the other one across. And again, some really nice shots. The top up here. Here's a nice view of the portcullis from above. They got the little chupacabra thing. Extra use of those Oran shelves just to carry that theme across. I mean, they've added them here as well. Little details that helps tie in everything together. Here again, we've got another little living section, and it's a completely different style. It just looks brighter. Got a nice makeshift fireplace. Really sleek, unique. That's the fun part. Love the table. Basically, looks like one of the hover park pieces, or maybe a couple of them, for the base, and then you've got the decoration of the ship's wheel, the nautical wheel, and then a flower just sunk in. I mean, it's really a rather large flower pot, and they've just sunk it in to give it a different look, so it doesn't look like everybody else's flower pot. Just little things like that can go a long way to making yours special to yourself. And here they've got the use of since they've used this as the flooring, it gives it that nice little effect, and then they use that as the chandelier hanger. Very clever. And again, a nice view from the other tower. Very interesting and stuff to see how people put things together. This appears to be like a kitchen area and eating. A nice little sink. And it appears to be the kitchen sink that's just been kind of hidden by enlarging it and sinking it in, because you can see the towel. And of course, we got the dripping faucet that's nice, with a nice effect. But they could have gone and added a lot more details, having other things cooking on the stove, or having bowls or salt and flour and sugar bowls and things like that. There's no need. Here it's implied that this is the refrigerator. I've seen some with their homes open, the refrigerators open, and you can see, or they're exposed so that you can see what's on the shelves. And that's not always necessary. Sometimes it's just a simple just to imply that that's what it is, and that's enough. They could have added a handle if they wanted. But yeah, really nice. So that's the two front towers. Now I'm just going to go this way and we'll just kind of see what all we see. Because again, most of this I haven't seen myself, so it's all new to me as well. 5 minutes until the maintenance. Again, if I happen to go offline, my apologies, but it's kind of out of my control. It's my understanding that it's just supposed to affect logins, so those that are already logged in shouldn't be affected, but you never know. They can say one thing and something kind of goes quirky. But again, they've really found some good use for the hover park decor. I mean, there's literally like tons of those pieces, and I've gone through them myself thinking, what could I possibly use those for? And I just never pictured, you know, the details that they've added in, but I'm certainly going to give them a closer look later, because they've really done a really nice job. So here you have just a little sitting area, you know, nice grass and greenery, but you know, little details that makes it interesting and not too boring to look at. And of course, nicely that they, you know, built in the gate here. And it just looks like it was meant to be that way. It was built in, and it's just, that's how it was. And that's how you want to do decor. You just, the more it looks like it was already that way, and the more it fools people into thinking that it came that way, the better. So here we have another tower, and it has a book atop it. So does that mean it's a library? Or a school, place of study? We shall see. Aha, it's a library. Got a nice little view outside. Add in some extra light so you don't have to really have a lot of light sources if you don't need it. And again, more of the hover park decor. Really nice use of pictures and even the book cabinets. You know, a lot of people get the empty ones and feel like they got to place all their books themselves. For some, that's okay. Others, for like this works efficiently. You know, they just have to use X amount of bookshelves that are already stocked, and they don't have to use up their decor count by filling in all of the shelves themselves. I've seen a few people do that and have it work really nice. For other places, it just looks overworked, but that didn't have that feel to it. Okay, so we'll go on to the next area. And again, here's a really nice way of presenting a tree that's in a kind of a city or place where you wouldn't normally have ground. It's just a nice way of trimming it up and making it look sleek. Basically, it looks like a dome that's got the added trim of the hover park decor. And again, look at the nice shaping of the flooring here. Just a unique design. Rather than always leaving it square, they've just altered it slightly and made it really look classy. Can't even hardly see the dividing line. You have to look really close to even notice where it splits off. And that's just, you know, nice detail. So we're going to go in here and see what there is. Appears to be their little treasure room. They count for the bars on the windows. They don't want anybody stealing their stuff. It's a nice way of dumping a lot of extra doodads that you think are cool looking, but you don't really have a place specific for them. And then you can do that and get away with it. So that you don't feel like you just kind of picked up this really cool item and have no place to use it. And that's a good way to say, well, it's a treasure. Just trying to get some good shots of the architecture that they've gone through the trouble of constructing. Very nice and clean and sleek looking. Okay, we have another tower. Not sure if the headless angel means anything. Maybe it's a apple or something. Oh, do not enter. Just got a creepy protostar guy there. Isn't that kind of... I don't know, is he the prisoner? Maybe he's the prisoner. Or protostar guy. Again, tree. You know, while they use different trees, they've treated the surrounding part of it the same. I mean, I guarantee it's probably the same size and everything. And that just kind of ties it all together. Even though the foliage is different, it just makes it go well together. Now, they could have chosen to match the entrance over here to this side, but they've decided to go with the different, which is nice because then it shows, you know, that there's other ways of doing things. And here we have their little garden. Isn't that cute? A really nice way of presenting it. You got your pumpkins, your weird flowers, and then your little gourd garden here, and then the grasses. And, you know, they could have gone and had maybe shovels, you know, big spoons for shovels, or who knows what else, or really gone more elaborate and had, you know, a couple of these out, but just one, that's enough. Just the idea that that's what it is. And here's a nice little way of doing a little hutch for the animals. Got your hitching posts, and then just put a couple out there, and they're nibbling on their hay. A lot of rock. Again, really nice effect, really clean. Okay, final tower, I think. Let's see what's in here. Appears to be a storage tower. Got other little extra mechanical box and doodaddies in here. You know, for someone else that wants to do a similar type of thing, they could have like a wizard's tower, or instead of just having the one prisoner down below, they could, you know, make them all a whole section of prisoners, different kinds of things. And here they've just added some extra seating, those that want to come and sit out in the courtyard, which is nice. So I think we've seen all that's up here. Pretty crazy because there's a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, while their decor count was probably eaten up quite a bit by the stone that they've used, not only to form it up here, I mean, you can see there's lots of pieces overlapping, but also the pieces that they used down below to fashion the cave system. But they still look at what all they've accomplished up here. And like I said, you know, maybe they're at their limit with this, and that's why, you know, there's some places that feel like there could be more detail, but there just isn't, and that would be why. Most often when I come to plots like this, that's usually the case. So while it might look like it's not completely finished or lacking a bit in certain areas, it's not for them not wanting to add more, it's just that they're unable to. Because once you hit that limit, you know, that's it. That's all she wrote. Okay, so now we still, after all of that, we still have the interior of the bunker house. And boy, do we have a lot to cover. This has a kind of a dark feel to it, like almost like it's like a guild hall of some sort. I don't know if that's really the purpose of it. That's just the look and feel of it to me. So the first room here, we're just gonna go room by room. Appears to be some kind of like communications, or where they do their planning, like a war room of sorts. This is where they figured it all out. And then they've got their replicas of maybe what's at service for them, or trophies of things that they killed or downed or whatever. But lots of nice little doodads. I like the little makeshift laptop here. Looks to be like a couple of the not sure what those are. Maybe the laptop, tablet computer kind of things. A couple of ergonomics keyboards, and then I forget what this is called. It's one of those that I've been wanting to have myself, and I just haven't been able to get it. I've done the expedition that I think it drops from a few times, but that thing, it's a pain in the butt, and I just haven't managed to get it. Okay, so next room, and I love the lighting. They've chosen the torches for all of this, and of course it has a kind of a Draken theme to it with all of the horns and the type of decor that they've chosen, but it's still pretty sleek and uniform. So here it looks like we've got some kind of a lab, and a couple of desks for your scientist and his assistant or whatever. Lots of little specimens for study. Lots of shelving with lots of little doodads and books and things that you could use. I'm leaving the doors open just to kind of help mark a way that I know I've been there before. Not necessarily something you want to do when you visit somebody's home, leave all the doors open, but it helps me remember where we've been and where we haven't. I don't repeat it. Okay, here's the med area. Lots of little different toilet paper, little different bits that you would expect in a medical facility. I like the way of the storage for the med kits. Okay, so well, I don't want to go up just yet. We'll just finish what's down here first. Big doors. Now here's an impressive room. This looks to be where they do their meeting. So yeah, maybe it is for the guild, or could be used for a guild. You know, maybe it's not for their guild, and they just built it and said, you know, any guild that wants to use it can. I love the way they've used the Osung grate or whatever as the wall feature. Really comes across like a powerful, I mean, this is all like weaponry and trophies and banners and things, so it really has an overpowering feel that this is, you know, where a guild comes to, you know, commend their members on a job well done. Here's your podium. Looks like two metal planks stuck together, and this creepy door. But just a nice way of setting up a meeting room that looks impressive and shows off, you know, like boss heads and stuff as trophies. It's a nice way of making it look official, but nice. You know, here you got the carpet leading down the middle. A really good setup. I think any guild would probably love coming to something like this. Even Orin probably think, yeah, this is cool. Okay, I think maybe I've gone through all the doors down here. Nope, still got one. Okay, looks to be the bathroom. We got little stalls, sinks, and little storage area. Simple but nice, you know, got a unique layout. See it always the same like that. I think I got all of them. Make sure, yeah. Okay, now we can go upstairs. Like this house never ends. There's always more to see. But you know, that's part of the fun of finding a house like this. Find it and you're thinking, wow, look at all I can do in the house I have. Talk about an entrance there. That's nice. We're gonna go to the back here just to find it. Got a nice little candelabra going. There's some extra light. So we'll hit this first room here and see what's in there. And it appears to be sleeping quarters. Probably for an Orin type. I've been using their phone causing mine to go through. Different little touches. Nothing fancy, but you know, get the idea that it's a sleeping room. Okay, let's see. Another room? This appears to be the mess hall. We'll go into the side room first. And here we go, a nice cozy living room. A relaxation area. It's a nice little aquarium setup. Your buddies come to relax, read a book, catch a show on TV. There appears to be like a video game, an old arcade type game. These parts looks to be some of the travel posters stuck together to make the thickness, and of course the Chula portrait. It's a nifty idea for someone that wants to set up a game room. Now they can put together several of those and use different portraits as indicating that's what the game is about. And of course, back into the mess hall, the eating area. Don't have to get too elaborate with adding a lot of details. Just give an indication that that's what it's for. I mean, he probably could have left just the tables there themselves and would have had the idea. It's nice that he was able to add little extra bits. I like the open countertop areas with the stools. Like, you know, someone could just grab a bite, quick breakfast or something. Don't have to sit at the big tables. And here you have a nifty little, got it set up so that it looks like a chopping board. And I believe that's one of the decking pieces, probably the short one. Just size down and then you have a chopping board. How simple is that? And I would guess that this is the fridge. Got your little spice rack, kitchen area, you know, put a cabinet and get your food side and your plates and cup side. This is the wastebasket here. Simple, but you know, nice. I mean, like the countertop here, that appears to be the Draken walls. A couple of them side by side, you know, or head to head, I should say. And he's used that in all the other pieces, so it matches, which is really nice. Good effect. Okay, next room. End of the road. So here would be the exit, which is, you know, you don't have to block that off. Just an alternate route of getting out. One thing I wish we could do is set how a person zones in, and that they didn't always have to zone in at the bottom of the ladder, that you could change it to being up at the top area, like the upper half. But I guess that would be problematic because not everybody would set their floor level the same. So I'm sure that's why they don't have that, but it would be nice to be able to change it. So there you have it. That's Daydreams Forged from Chaos plot. A lot of work went into it, and I hope that I did it justice by touring it and giving my little bit of commentary to go along with it. A really fantastic job in my opinion, as were the other homes. Again, I try to visit homes of differing talent and differing themes, just to give you a good sampling each week of the different approaches one can take on their home. You can go from just a few items to a whole all-out plot full work. It just depends on the confidence that you have in your own abilities to be able to tackle it. Okay, so I think that'll be it for the tours. So we're going to take a trip back to my place. Hopefully